Hey everybody, John here with Facade Reds. Thanks for joining me. So it's been a while since we've done a shop update on the building. As you might have seen, we had some issues where I needed to get some architects involved and a structural engineer because one of the beams downstairs, one of the support posts, was kind of breaking through the wooden floor into the crawl space because it wasn't properly supported. So, update, we did get our architectural plans back. Everything was signed off on. I had to submit it to the city, so we're still waiting on that to get approved. But we did make some other updates to the building, to the plan, since we already had the architect here. And I'll show you some of the stuff here in a second. But first, for those eagle-eyed viewers, you guys might recognize something different up here. I'm going to do a slow turn. Anything different? You can tell? Can you tell yet? All right, for those of you who can't tell, I'll give you a hint. If I back up, I'm not going to fall to my death out this anymore because we do finally have some windows in this place. So this building has not had windows since probably the 80s when they renovated all this, I believe. So I remember when I was a kid, all the windows were covered up on the outside with like plywood that was painted the same color as the building. And then when we came through here and bought the place, this room up here, all these windows were covered. There were shelves and drywall over everything. So this was all just boarded up and covered. They weren't using the windows. I thought that was a really bad idea, especially for what we wanted to do. So get some natural light in here. It looks a lot better. It doesn't look as haunted, creepy, old abandoned house as it did before. But anyways, let me show you some of the stuff that we're going to change, some of the ideas that we had, and the architects and I worked out and figured out what we're going to do, as long as everything gets approved by the city, which, again, fighting City Hall. Yay! But let me show you some of the stuff we're planning on doing. All right, so this is the front of the building, and as you can see here, the guys who did the roof left all the debris out here. Unfortunately, I couldn't see it, but it doesn't matter because this roof here, this peaked roof out here, the reason we didn't reshingle this is because there's a flat roof underneath here. Now, the old flat roof's probably leaking, so they threw this on top of it, and that was part of the reason we think that post down there wasn't holding right, and it was pushing through the ground because it's the extra weight. You have the flat roof, and it was one of those ones that had like the gravel on it, and then they built this on top of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this off, we're going to redo the flat roof that's on here, and then the front of the building, and I'll show you on the architectural plan, we'll have a parapet wall that goes up. So this will be flat, parapet wall where we can put the signage, and then we'll be able to walk out there to put up Christmas decorations, Halloween decorations, lights, and all that stuff. So it'll be a flat roof again. It'll look better from the street, in my opinion, and it won't crash through the ground. So that roof didn't get replaced yet because we just had them shingle upstairs. So, all right, let me show you. Let's show you what's going on. Let's show you these plans and what else we're going to be doing. All right, so as you can see here, old steps. They're really narrow, they're really steep, and they're kind of just like not in the right spot. And I shouldn't even say these are the original steps because these were moved at some point during this building's construction. So these steps here will be gone. This post here will be gone. This will basically run into a new support beam that will be there. So this entire wall will be open. So the floor plan of the building will be nice and open. And give you a bigger store area for merchandise. This will be the bathroom here. There used to be a really small bathroom in there. It probably went to the edge of that drywall or that plywood, if I remember correctly. But we have to expand it for ADA purposes, so it's going to come just to the other end of it now. And then here will be the new steps. So go up a couple steps to a landing, and then the steps will go up there to upstairs. So that'll be nice. It'll give us a nice open feel. All that will be more usable. It'll be part of the building. I mean, obviously it's part of the building, but it'll look more like part of the building. Up here is the culprit that was causing us the issues. For those of you who didn't watch the other video, as you can see, it's kind of going through the ground here. It's just not supported correctly, and it's likely just too much weight from that second roof up there. So this is the exciting part for me. Okay, so you can see we have our little Christmas display. Baby Yoda's got his Santa hat on. Can't go wrong with that. But this storefront window, if you could see, it's up off the ground, a pretty good height here. And the reason being is this used to be an old house, and they added this portion on. So to make it where this was all one floor, they obviously had to come up. So what we're going to do here is, if you could see outside, the building has this little overhang. So what we're going to do, this is not load bearing. So we needed to replace these windows anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to tear this out, push this up to the front of the building so it's flush. And then this window will come down a lot closer to the ground, so it'll give us a nice display window so people will be able to actually see, our display windows, our signage, and everything we do. These steps obviously need to be here so you can get up, but they're not going to be there anymore. What they're going to do is the door will be out farther, so then the steps will come in and come up here, straight shot in. I mean, there'll be a little landing, and then this will be infilled with new floor So basically the new front of the building will be right there. You'll still come in and come in the shop. So we thought that would be nice. Give it a little update, because right now the front of this building is pretty ugly. I'm not going to lie. So that'll give it a nice facelift, a nice update. Let me show you guys what the new facade will look like, give you a better idea, because we have a sketch from the architect, and you'll see how that looks. But yeah, it's already looking better with the windows in here, guys. Once we get that display front of this building done, that'll be sharp. We started the framing, obviously, but we had to kind of put a pause on that while we're waiting on all this other stuff to get done. But let me show you what the facade will look like once it's done. All right, so as you guys can see, what I was talking about, the old floor, or the old windows are way up here. So they're a lot higher. We're going to bring that down. It's going to be closer to the street. The door's going to come forward. And then we kind of have this parapet wall up here, which kind of ties into this. So the problem was, it's different brick. So we're going to do some different materials on here. It'll give it a more modern look for the front half of this building. And we needed to have a parapet wall anyways to put the signage up, because the city's sign ordinance, you have to have a wall to put it on. So we'll be doing that. And on the side, there's a little bit difference. So the steps will be here to get up into the building versus where they are on the other side. And I'll show you that here in a second when we walk out. And but let me know what you guys think. If that is it's a cool design, if you think it looks all right. Like I said, this building's kind of ugly. There's only so much you can do to kind of hide the fact that it's a house with a, an addition to it. But we're going to work with what we got and make it look a little bit nicer. And you're not going to even be able to see that from the street. I think from the angle, it'll kind of look more like a modern storefront, which is nice. So here, I'll show you outside what we're getting done. And all right, so here's how the magic's made. I think they're putting this window in. They're trying not to break it. So as you can see, we've gotten glass, and most of the windows so far, they're finishing up over here. But these windows here have been covered with board that was painted the same color as the building was before since probably the 80s. And then I found a picture of the building probably from the 60s or it must have been 60s or 70s from the cars I saw driving by. But these ones have been covered since then. So starting to get the windows in. Outside's painted. Obviously, you can see up there, we still need to get the soffit and the fascia done. The fascia board we got was the wrong size, so that's why that's not knocked out yet. And then we obviously have to touch up around these windows and put the final trim on them. But I'll show you over here, we got the siding done on the little garage on the back here. So still have to paint that door. All right, so here's what I'm talking about now. Right now the steps are here. So what's going to be where that trash can is, the steps will come down there. There'll be a landing, and then the ramp will basically come from there all the way over to here, cut over to a landing here, and then go up into the building. So we have to have I think it's 36 feet, 36-foot ramp to get into the building, because I think it's like a foot per inch high or something from the door. So anyways, guys, that's what we have right now. That's the update for the shop. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And once we start getting more stuff done on the inside, we'll show you guys that as well. So thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.